Hi, thanks for using my court coach. I'm Sarah, and I'll be your instructor as we talk about bifurcations. What is a bifurcation? It is the separation of one or more issues in a case, and it allows you to have a trial determination on an issue without waiting for the entirety of the case to be finalized. Why would you request a bifurcation? You would do it to move proceedings along and or to get resolution on an issue prior to finalization of the entire case. There are certain kinds of issues that are more ripe for bifurcation requests than others. Some of the issues that are ripe for bifurcation are child custody and visitation issues. Often these issues can be time sensitive, and sometimes cases can take a really long time to get to trial, whether that's because of the amount of preparation or the document or evidence that's required, or just the court's availability. So if you have a trial date year and a half out and you need a custody issue resolved sooner rather than later, you could request to have a trial just on the issue of child custody and visitation. If you have a premarital or postmarital agreement, it would be very helpful to have the validity of that agreement determined. And then you know if you need to prepare for a trial on divorce, or if that agreement holds up, then your case is pretty easily resolved. The validity of the marriage itself, if either party has filed to request an nullity of the marriage, you could have a bifurcated trial on the validity of the marriage to determine if an annulment is appropriate. If so, then obviously, again, just like with our premarital and postmarital agreements, that makes the resolution of your case pretty easy. If not, then you know that you now need to prepare for a trial on a divorce issue. Valuation of business and the date that the court should value the business on. It could be through the last calendar year, it could be date of separation, it could be up to time of trial, but it's helpful to know that before you go to a trial to determine the value of the business, so that you have the proper evidence before the court that it needs to consider. Finally, if you want to request a status-only term determination, that is a judgment that just terminates the marital status but reserves on the determination of the other issues in the case. And that can be helpful in certain instances. Possible reasons a party may seek to get a status-only bifurcation of marital status. If a party is eager or set to remarry soon, you can't remarry someone or marry someone so long as you're still married to another person. So that may be a basis. If there are tax incentives, once you file for divorce, you are now going to be single or head of household. If that is more helpful to a party than continuing to file either married filing jointly or married filing separately, then maybe that would be a reason to seek a status-only bifurcation. If one of the parties has filed for a bankruptcy, that can often put a stay on the family court's ability to divide the assets and debts of the relationship, so long as that bankruptcy is ongoing. A status-only bifurcation of marital status would allow the divorce proceedings to continue even though the bankruptcy is still being resolved. Sometimes it's just to move the case along or to cut emotional ties. Sometimes this is the step that is needed to get people to realize that this divorce is going to happen no matter what. It can just send a signal that they need to prepare for that accordingly. How to request a bifurcation of issues? You would file a request for order as you would with any sort of temporary relief in the case, but in addition to that, you do need to file an application for a separate trial. That's an FL 315, and we will go over that in a separate video. I hope you found this helpful. Good luck.